Alright, so we start off right off the bat sectioning the hair, and this is a technique that I kind of developed myself after trial and error. I comb all the hair down to the direction that it grows, and I'm literally going with a number 2 guard with the grain, and I'm just, you know, I guess I'm laying the hair down, but I want to keep that bulk. So going with the grain keeps the hair thicker, keeps more bulk. So once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and lay my foundation. I want to make sure that the sides are clear, because we're gonna go bald on the sides. So number 2 with the grain initially, and then we'll go against the grain, coming off the ridge of the head, and trying not to create any harsh lines. Like, we should be able to blend this out with a 3 guard or shear over comb or scissor over comb. But now by laying our foundation, we know that our initial guideline, whatever it may be, let's say you want to do a half, let's say you want to do a number 1, you ultimately know that you blend that 1 into a number 2 because you've laid your foundation, you have your structure, right? So we're using the T outliners to bald them out, and we'll follow that up with the shaver as always to give that clean, close cut. Give a little longer life to the haircut, and we'll move on with our wall magic clips. And I'm gonna do something a little different here. It's easy to blend a 1 to a 2, so we'll go ahead and blend a 1 to the 2, and we'll start off with our number 1 guard. And you can see we're going up pretty high because we know we need to blend the 0 to a 1, and you know, when you're doing that, you need obviously more room. So we started off with the number 1 guard, went all the way around, we opened it up, went up some more, and now we're connecting that the 1 guard open to the 2 guard with the 1.5 guard. And what I did was I put some a color code key on the bottom left corner so you can follow along. Obviously the color of the guard, you can match it with the color code and you'll know what guard I'm using. We're trying this out just because it'll make it so much quicker for us to edit these videos this way. Now I definitely want to get your guys' feedback in the comments below. If you're okay with it, if you're okay with it, that's awesome. That means more videos, quicker, more duplicatable. If you're not okay with it, please let me know, because I definitely don't want to sacrifice the quality of our videos. So once we finish blending the 1 to the 2, we take off all the guards. It's just the blade all the way open, and we're trying not to create another line. It's easy to do this when you're not using a half guard, but we're trying to skip the half guard. So we'll go right into the blade all the way open, using the curvature of the blade, because this is the taper blade that comes on the wall seniors, the original ones. And we're closing it as we go down. I probably close it 2 or 3 times before I get to the point where the initial guideline, the initial line, is gone. And you can see how the fade is coming out now. Once you get through this system, you can go back and detail as much as you want. Let's say you finish this part of the haircut in less than 10 minutes. That gives you, at least another 10 minutes or so to detail, and another 10 minutes or so to do scissor work and hairstyle. And the detailing should be in the scissor work as well too, right? So don't take all your 10 minutes on the clipper part. And you guys can see I stay in the same spot. I turn my chair. It's important to be able to use your chair, not just because you'll last longer in this barber industry, in your barber career by doing so. It helps your posture out, but because you see different angles of your haircuts, and you're pretty much checking your cut as well, seeing it in different angles and different lighting. Alright, so I went back with my half guard. It didn't look like I needed it, but I'm OCD and I like to detail my work. So I did go back with my half guard and do some detailing. And I'm like swapping back and forth from the half guard to the blade all the way open. You guys can see the half guard still in my hand. And boom, put it back on, and you know, that's saves a little bit of time instead of having to turn around every time and grab your guard, right? Alright, so now we're shaping the C cup area. This is the only area that we need to line up. Everything else we're gonna leave natural. Per request of the client, he didn't want to line up, so, which I think is a good look for this particular hairstyle. And just to give you guys some context, this particular client drives all the way from Orlando to Tampa to come get his haircut. Alright, so now we wet a little bit, not too wet, but wet a little bit to prep it for the shear over comb, because these are 7-inch shears. And we're pretty much using the wider tooth comb area of the comb, and we're combing it, and we're just snipping the ends of the hair. This particular night, it was funny because he called me. He was running behind. He hit some traffic, and you know, I respect the fact that first of all, he respects my time. He's coming from Orlando, so he was my last haircut at night. I figured, hey, let me make the best of it instead of complaining that, you know, he's a little late. Let me make the best of it. We'll record this haircut. It was worth every set. It was worth it. All right, so obviously we created a guideline all the way from the front to the back of the crown area, and we'll start to create our guideline. We're only going to take a little bit off because we do want a little bit of length to this haircut. And you guys can see when I pull the guideline up, what I cut before and what I didn't cut. What I cut before is obviously my guideline throughout the cut. So now that we have a guideline all the way through the middle of his head, we'll start to take horizontal parts and use the middle guideline as reference. Here I'm over directing it. You know, I'm combing down from the apex area and I'm over directing it. Now we can start taking these horizontal parts, matching it with the initial guideline that we created through the middle of his head. This is gonna help us keep a nice even haircut on the top. Same way you do it on the right side, you're gonna do on the left side of his head. And you notice I don't go too far up to the front area. Because of the front area, I'm gonna take vertical parts and match it up with the most of his head, as I'm doing here. So I'm grabbing vertical parts of the hair and connecting it to what I initially cut with shears. And you could do this all the way back just to cross-check your haircut. Alright, so now I'm separating the fringe area, and I'm going to comb down on the hair, over direct it to the sides, and just cut it, make sure it's even. You can see how that came out pretty good. Alright. Comb down the fringe area. We're just gonna kind of make sure it's even, make sure there's no like longer stray hairs. And now we will start to blow dry the hair, and all I'm doing is trying to dry it and get it to lay down a little bit so that it lays straight, to prepare it for our point cutting, because we're going to texturize this hair because it is supposed to be a haircut with a lot of texture. And honestly, he got this haircut from one of my old videos that I did. I put a picture of it on my Instagram. He saw it and he's like, yo, I want this haircut. And this is what I'm talking about. You can literally design the type of barber you want to be, the type of haircuts you want to do. So if you want to do predominantly tight, curly, textured hair, then you know, post that. It'll attract those type of clients. If you want it, let me point this out. So I stood in front of him. I'm literally grabbing sections from the crown area and I'm point cutting that. And it's gonna help it lay down nicer. You can see I'm taking horizontal sections, and literally you don't want your shears to be at an angle when you're going in. You want it to be straight up and down, because we're adding texture, but we're also thinning the hair out, because when you thin out thick hair like this, it helps it keep its volume. So I hope that helps. But yeah, like I was saying, if you want a very diverse clientele, post a little bit of everything. Share the things that you're learning. Share the things that you're share that you invested, you know, $1,500, you know, on a class that teaches you about this hairstyling, right? So we're using a texturizing powder. Doesn't matter the brand, guys. Grab some texturizing powder and try it out for yourselves. You can see it like automatically gives the hair some texture. And I'm just scrunching it in. Look at the finished style. So we'll add some hairsprays to give it a little bit of hold, but like there's a lot of texture there. And I didn't apply any of the 245 shave gel just because it's literally just his C-cup area. That's all he's getting lined up. So just to get out of the way real quick, I just lined it up. It's not a sensitive area, so I felt comfortable doing that. And there it is, finished product, man. I hope you guys liked it. A lot of texture in there, nice short textured haircut with a nice blurry bald fade. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. It helps the channel out so much, guys. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. Thank you, guys.